Imagine waking up one morning and realizing an entire village has disappeared. Not abandoned, not evacuated, but completely erased. Homes left unlocked, fires still burning, food still warm, beds used. And silence so unnatural it presses against your chest like something alive, watching. Nobody heard screams, nobody saw a fight, and yet hundreds vanished without a trace. Tonight, you'll hear the real stories of villages that disappeared overnight, places swallowed by something far older, far darker, and far more patient than humanity. And with every tale, one thought lingers. Whatever took these people did not want to leave a trace. It moved silently, perfectly, and waited patiently until the right moment to strike. Some witnesses later reported faint shadows moving through the empty homes at night, flickers behind curtains, lights switching on and off. As if the village itself was alive, replaying the last moments of its missing residents. Those who dared to enter these villages afterwards spoke of cold drafts that cut through the body, whispers just beyond comprehension, and the feeling that eyes were watching from every corner. The air seemed thick, heavy, alive, carrying the memory of something ancient that had passed through. Something sees something still waiting, patient and silent in the darkness for the next group who might wander too close. Our story begins in 1923 Brazil, in Rio Verde. Investigators found a village of 600 people gone. A pot of stew still simmered. A loaded gun lay on the floor. Chairs were knocked over. On a chalkboard, the message read, "There is no salvation." Footprints led into the forest, hundreds of them, then suddenly ended. No blood, no struggle, nothing. Locals say that at night, faint lantern lights appear, moving in single file, like the villagers are still searching for a way out. Far north in Canada, at Angituni Lake, a trapper discovered an Inuit village frozen in time. Fires glowed, clothes lay half-sewn, toys scattered in the snow, but the people were gone. Their sled dogs lay dead beneath the snow, starved as if too terrified to run. The graveyard had been dug open from within. Hunters swear they've seen a tall, thin-figured lighting across the ice on full moon nights, calling out in perfect imitation of villagers, but the voice is not human. Across the desert of Rajasthan, Kuldara's residents vanished centuries ago. Those who tried to live there later reported voices inside empty rooms, footsteps following them, and hands grabbing ankles in the dark. Paranormal teams captured screams and whispers telling people to leave. No one stays past sunset. The village itself seems to protect its secret. High in the Himalayas, Lanjing disappeared during winter. A trader found tea warm, candles burning, beds prepared, but no footprints in the snow outside. Search teams camped nearby and heard someone circling their tents, crunching the snow, but no tracks remain. Some rescuers reported seeing a pale figure standing motionless for hours before slowly sinking into the snow. The mountain itself seemed alive, watching them. Near Lerna in Greece, a lakeside village vanished. Meals sat untouched, boats drifted softly, and stone walls bore deep claw marks. Scientists recorded heat signatures moving in tunnels beneath the village. Something massive lived below, and may still be there. Locals avoid the lake after dark. The water moves in strange patterns, almost like breathing. Off the coast of Norway lies Drager village. Fishermen found walls scratched, boats drifted quietly, doors slammed though no wind blew. Divers heard persistent knocking beneath their boats, like someone begging to be let in. Locals say the drowned return to drag the living under the waves, and the sea near the village feels unnaturally warm at night. In India, Dudapani disappeared in the early 2000s. Villagers reported knocking on windows, footsteps circling homes, and voices calling their names from the forest. Children saw a tall figure at the tree line every night. One morning, the population was gone. Beds warm, meals half-eaten, clothes scattered. A police officer heard a slow, eerie lullaby in the forest. Even animals avoid the village now. But these aren't the only vanishings. In the Amazon, Sal Miguel vanished after screams echoed through the night. Footprints led toward the forest and then ended abruptly. Trees bore huge claw marks. The jungle smelled metallic, but no bodies were found. In Eastern Europe, Ryzoska disappeared after strange lights floated over fields and elongated figures appeared at windows. Radios crackled with static, whispering in unknown languages when played backward. In Africa's Congo Basin, Mbala vanished after a massive shadow blocked the moon. The ground shook, drums stopped, animals fled, and only deep impressions remained. In South America, night bridge miners saw faceless figures and heard scratching on walls. The next morning, the settlement was empty. Lanterns burned, beds disturbed. A single journal page remained. It comes closer every night. It's inside the dark, and it wants all of us. These vanishings aren't random. Warm meals left on tables, fires still burning, footprints ending abruptly, voices calling people outside, shadows moving where no one should, strange lights with no source, and scratch marks climbing walls above human height. These places weren't abandoned, they weren't evacuated. They were taken, quietly, perfectly, completely. Whatever took them doesn't need doors, leaves no marks, makes no sound. It chooses a place, waits until night falls, and then everything disappears. Villages, families, couples, people who lock doors thinking they're safe, none of it matters. These stories are warnings. There are forces older and more patient than we can imagine. Forces that watch, wait, and strike without hesitation. Sleep well, if something allows you to, because the darkness is still out there. Moving silently, waiting for the next village, the next family, the next life to claim. If you want more terrifying mysteries, stories of real disappearances, and dark phenomena, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a story. The world is darker than you think, and the next tale could be closer than you imagine.